Carmen, we've got an easy one.
Here we go.
Okay. Good afternoon. As a preliminary matter, this is John Brescher, Chair of the Real Estate Assessment Committee. Permit me to confirm that all members and persons anticipating the agenda are present and can hear me. Members, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Rhoda Wyman.
Aye.
Lee Saperstein.
Aye.
Beautiful. Staff, when I call your name, please respond in the affirmative. Ken Bogrand.
Present.
Haley Cook.
Present.
Thank you. This open meeting of the Real Estate Assessment Committee is being conducted remotely, consistent with Governor Baker's executive order of March 12, 2020, due to the current state of emergency in the Commonwealth due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. In order to mitigate the transmission of the COVID-19 virus, we've been advised and directed by the Commonwealth to suspend public gatherings, and as such, the governor's order suspends the requirement of the open meeting law to have all meetings in a publicly accessible physical location. Further, all members of public bodies are allowed and encouraged to participate remotely. The order, which you can find posted with the agenda materials for this meeting, allows public bodies to meet entirely remotely so long as reasonable public access is afforded so that the public can follow along with the deliberations of the meeting. Ensuring public access does not ensure public participation unless such participation is required by law. This meeting will feature public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. For this meeting, the Real Estate Assessments Committee is convened via video conference via the Zoom app as posted on the town's website. For Zoom meetings, please note that this meeting is being recorded and that all attendees are participating by video conference. Accordingly, please be aware that other folks may be able to see you and to take care not to screen share your computer.
Hi, I'm at the RIA.
Anything that you broadcast may be captured by the recording. All supporting materials that have been provided members of this body are available on the town's website unless otherwise noted. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda unless I, the chair, notes otherwise. We're going to turn to the first item on the agenda. Before we do so, let's go over some ground rules for effective and clear conduct of our business and ensure accurate meeting minutes. Chair will introduce each speaker on the agenda. After they conclude their remarks, Chair will go down the line of members, inviting each by name to provide any comment, questions, or motions. Please hold until your name is called. Further, please remember to mute your phone or computer when you are not speaking. Please remember to speak clearly. For any response, please wait until the chair yields the floor to you and state your name before speaking. And if members wish to engage in conversation with other members, please do so through the chair. Take care to identify yourself. For any items with public comment, after members have spoken, the chair will afford public comment to those members of the public that have joined the meeting via Zoom. Members of the public who wish to speak must state their names and be acknowledged by and speak through the chair. Finally, each vote taken in this meeting will be conducted by roll call votes. Okay, awesome. Let's move on to approval of the agenda. Oh, yes, Haley.
So just we'll have to do it. I guess we'll have to have you, John, amend the agenda because we're not going to be reviewing item 6, I think, is what I understood.
So I think we can still talk about part of item 6 because
Okay.
there may be a solution, at least not for the Massaquoi part, but at least for the one on Pocono.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So may I have an approval of the agenda? Sort of with the amendment that we are not going to be talking about first bullet item under 6 because we are not ready for the conveyance of the portions of Massaquoi and Atlantic Avenue.
Okay, Rhoda, it's going to bounce back and forth like a ping pong ball between you and me. I'll move
Okay.
the agenda.
Rhoda, can you second the agenda?
Wait a minute. Can you hear me, John?
Yep. Now we can.
I'm sorry. Penny's trying to get on. She just called me. She's not able to get on. I don't know why, but
She's not in the waiting room. Hold on.
she couldn't find the link. I just told her it was on Friday, but
Okay.
Yeah. If it helps, the link is on the. You know what? Maybe I'll shoot her a quick.
I can forward it to her real quick too.
Yeah, if you want to do that, Haley, that'd be awesome.
Yep.
Anyway, are you able to second the amended agenda?
I second it.
Beautiful. Motion made and second. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none. We'll do a roll call vote. Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Rhoda Wyman,
Aye.
and John Brescher, the chair votes aye as well. Next item is public comment. Seeing as we have no members of the public here, we'll move on. Approval of the minutes. Has everyone had a chance to? Oh, hello, Penny. Has everyone had a chance to read the minutes from December 12th, 2022?
Yes.
The only comment I have is I believe the acronym
Yes.
is it CRAC?
Yes.
Okay,
That was, yeah, we
Coastal
actually,
Resilience Advisory Committee, John.
there it is for good old.
There is no K for knowledge attached to that.
yeah, that was my fault.
Well done.
I will update that. And
Okay.
also, Lee also let me know that I had, I think I wrote bit instead of bed for railroad bed, so I will update that as well.
Cool.
So I guess you could vote to approve it with those edits, or yeah, if you
That's,
wanted to.
everybody comfortable with those edits? If so, may I have a motion to approve the minutes as amended?
Motion to approve.
Motion made. Is there a second?
This is Lee Saperstein, second the minutes.
Great, thank you. A motion been made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll do a roll call vote. Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Rhoda Wyman,
Aye.
Penny Dye? Maybe not.
Looks like she's on.
Does look like she's on.
Try her again. She just,
Penny, can you hear us? Because we can't hear you.
no.
Okay, and the chair, John Brescher, votes aye as well. Okay, next item on the agenda is the approval of the 2023 meeting agenda dates. So hopefully everyone has had a chance to look at our proposed meeting schedule for 2023. Obviously, these are a work in progress and sort of subject to availability, notice, and whether or not we have agenda items. But I think this all looks great. Haley and Ken, thanks for doing this. I think it really does help, all things considered. So does anybody have any comments, questions, etc.?
No.
Okay,
Hi, Penny.
John Penny is with us, so why don't you just very quickly tell her what's up?
So Penny, we were just talking about that Haley and Ken were kind enough to provide a 2023 meeting schedule for us.
Yep.
And unless anyone has any questions or comments, I would say we should make a motion to approve that and move on.
Sounds good. I'll make a motion to approve it.
Great, thank you. Motion made. Is there a second on second?
Second.
Okay, great. Motion made and seconded. Any further discussion on the motion? Hearing none, we'll do roll call vote. Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Rhoda Wyman,
Aye.
Penny Dye,
Aye.
and the chair, John Brescher, votes aye as well. Okay, sort of meat of the discussion today, but only so much. Real estate matters. The first one we've postponed as we're still waiting on conveyance documents. The next one is the one off of Pocomo Road. Just very quickly, I think that I think one of two things will happen, candidly. One, we will either get a revised price from Rob to put us under the RFP threshold, or everything will be delayed for an RFP. I think the intent would be, frankly, in terms of the greater cost benefit analysis of this, to have the price be like $35,000 is the threshold, to have the price be $34,900, something like that, because it will eat up a lot of staff and legal time to do a full-on RFP, probably $2,000 worth of time, and we're not going to make as much money on it. So we've got sort of two things. We've got one of two choices right now. One is that we could just sort of authorize, approval of the conveyance, provided it is under the $35,000 threshold, or we wait to see what Rob comes back with.
Could I make a suggestion, Mr. Chair?
Sure, by all means.
The advice that you get from the assessor is advice. You, as a committee, have a decision with respect to accept that in full or make an adjustment to it based on the circumstances. And under the circumstances, in terms of the amount of money that you're talking about and the issues that we're trying to resolve, it seems to me that you might be in a position to want to make a recommendation that you want to make an adjustment to the recommendation from the assessor and make a determination as a committee that the price for this position, this particular parcel, is $34,900, whatever.
I oddly am comfortable with that. If anybody, I don't know about how everybody else feels. Knowing that there is going to be a cost associated with all of this, and I don't think it's going. And even if Vicky ups her legal fee, it's not going to. I'm channeling my inner Tom here. It's not going to capture the fees incurred or the cost incurred by eating up staff time.
Yeah.
Penny, go ahead.
Yeah, quick question, John, to you. Is 1,500 adequate here on the reimbursement? It seems low,
So
regardless.
that, I mean, I
Can
don't,
Before you answer that, John,
yeah,
this is the discussion that I've had with John Giorgio and with Vicky. Vicky makes a determination. It is her call with respect to the legal fees. I think it'd be inappropriate for us to get engaged in any discussion with this. This is an issue that's been raised by Mr. Barata, and I want to stay away from our involvement because I believe it's town council's determination with respect to the appropriate charge for legal fees, not this committee's responsibility.
John,
Penny, go ahead.
yeah, a follow-up. The purchase price is 36,536. That's really all we're talking about, the legal fees.
Right.
And the other payments for the tax adjustments, that's on top of that, right?
That's on top of that. So if everything went, if we didn't go through with an RFP and we could just sell it to them for 36,536, they
Yep.
would actually have to come up with, they'd have to give the town a check for 39,849.24.
Right, so we're talking about a reduction of $1,536 or thereabouts.
We're talking as a reduction of about 1536, roughly $1,600 if you want to just
Okay,
round numbers, in order to avoid an RFP
RFP,
and eating
okay.
up staff time.
well, I'm comfortable with that as well, especially because shockingly you are.
No, I am. I'm comfortable.
Lee, what about you?
I'll go with the flow because this is really a bureaucratic question. And I guess our connection to the bureaucracy is Ken.
I mean, I think sort of big picture, if we're trying to get the highest value for the town, it would factor in staff time as well, and we could hang our hat saying, yes, we're okay with a conveyance of like 34,900.
Now,
In light of that.
I will point out though, that this discussion will not show up in any transactions or conveyances or end of the year financial reports. And it could look to subsequent purchasers that somehow or another there's a way around the assessor's the assessor's suggestion on additive costs, because we're what, $2 a square foot, but this is looking at substantially more because of location and water views.
I've got this odd suspicion that if the town redoes this, or if Rob looks at this again, it'll come in at less than 35,000.
I have another question that's probably sort of ignorant, but are they paying the land bank fee on any of
Yes.
this stuff?
Yes.
Okay, I thought they were. All right, thank you.
No deed stamps, but yes to a land bank fee.
That's what I thought. Okay.
So we're not setting a precedent, I think is the technical term that I would invoke.
Yeah, I think that's right. I mean, I think we do have the broad discretionary powers, as Ken indicated, for us to
Sure.
come up with these
agree.
values. You know, it's not to say next time, if the price comes in at 30,000, it's not to say we couldn't say, well, we think it's really a little more valuable than that. It should be 32,000.
Right.
And Lee, just reflect back on the conversation we had either last month or the month before with Rob. And the issue there was a discussion of whether or not we go from $2 a square foot to $2.50 a square foot. He said, I could make a recommendation this way or that way. And you as a committee said that under all of the circumstances, as we see how we're going forward, let's leave it where it is. And if it becomes an issue or there's a concern, we can always address it at that point in time. So I think the sense of this committee in the discussions with Rob is that his role is advisory and your role is determinative.
Well, we're advisory as well to the select board.
Correct.
That's true as well. I mean, the select board could say, we think it should be higher or lower as well.
And they have.
Sure.
So I think that's good.
Okay.
Yep.
So do we want to make,
Motion?
okay, you want to make a motion for a pick a price, pick a number.
I'm gonna say 34,600.
Okay. A motion has been made to recommend the select board convey parcel 5 on plan number 2014-100 for 34,600.
I'll second that.
Motion made and second. Is there any further discussion on the motion? All right, hearing none, let's do roll call vote. Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Rhoda Wyman,
Aye.
Penny Dye,
Aye.
and the chair, John Brescher, votes aye as well. Okay, cool. Thank you all. Haley and Ken, any other business?
I'm aware of at this
Oh.
point in time.
Just the next
Lee,
meeting.
I just want, John, I just want to give you an update. I are going to, now that we have a little bit more time, we're going to go through all the yard sale files that we have. And what we're going to do is start to prioritize them in terms of the timing of when they come forward. And we may end up having several at a meeting on time. But what we want to do is, but as in the past, we won't have, except unfortunately like today, we won't have anything on the agenda unless we know it's ready to go forward.
Yeah, yes, Lee.
It's just a procedural thing. For future packets, do you think we could get the maps and plans that we used to receive? And at one time, we got a little spreadsheet that showed
Yeah.
the square footage, base price, the additives and so forth, so that we could see how that all laid out.
Yeah, that was really helpful.
Yeah, today was fairly straightforward and no problem, but for future, particularly if Ken's prediction is right, and we're going to have a whole bundle to look at, it would be useful.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely. I will make that note. I think this one was so back and forth. I knew we weren't going to have the first one done. So for the second one, I was just waiting to hear from Vicky on what React needed. So apologies for that, but we'll definitely give you the plans and all of that like we normally do.
Great, thanks, Haley.
Great. Otherwise, I think the time and date of our next meeting will be Monday, March 13th at 2 p.m. And with that, hearing nothing, no other business from anyone else, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
In a second?
Second.
Lee, second.
Thank you. And we'll do a quick roll call vote for adjournment. Lee Saperstein,
Aye.
Rhoda Wyman,
Aye.
Penny Dye,
Aye.
and the chair, John Brescher, votes aye as well. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye.
Sorry I was
Valentine's Day.
late.
All right. Bye-bye.